Now, loads of children have been abused online. That's a fact. And child pornography rates have skyrocketed. I don't think there's any way to stop it. And that's the sad thing. I don't know where I'm going with this to make this not depressing. But the biggest case recently for a lot of people, and a lot of people know this, tons of channels covered it. Your Philip DeFranco's, your Drama Alerts, Elvis v. Alien. A ton of people covered the controversy between Austin Jones and everything he did, pretty much. There's really great videos for that. I'm going to recommend Elvis v. Aliens. I think it's the most in-depth, comprehensive, and it really cuts to the core of a lot of things I'm talking about here. But I've wondered why, more recently with everything, I think Pro Jared got called out for sending dick pics to his fans. It provides me an explanation a chance to explain why this sort of thing happens, and how to avoid it as an average person and as a YouTuber. I'm only at 3,000 now, so I'm not big, but I understand that this is stuff that people in the future who are bigger than me, smaller than me, they should know. Now, everyone always kind of fans over somebody, a celebrity, you've got your Tom Holland stans, you've got your K-pop stans and all that, but something you'll notice, and something you really take your time and look into it, they never date fans. I think it's because, as a celebrity of any form, if somebody likes something you do, they put you on a higher pedestal. They examine your life, they look through your life, they go into ideas, they think about you more than most people. Now that becomes a problem when you're trying to start a relationship with someone, I think. Now, there of course are celebrities that have dated fans and normal people. That's understandable, I get it. But on average, you end up seeing celebrity date celebrity, YouTuber date YouTuber, stuff like that. And they keep their public life public, but their private life private. I feel like I'm trying to go the right way with this. But the main reason you don't see them with fans is because you're going into a relationship where you are essentially one-sided. You have a lot of power, a lot of control in that relationship. And some people abuse that power. I'm of the belief that maybe some people shouldn't be famous. Some people cannot control themselves, and some people cannot handle being in a position of power. I genuinely believe that. Much like you shouldn't trust somebody as a manager at a McDonald's. Would you trust that person with 150, 200, a million subscribers? There's some people I don't. There are some people I see on YouTube and I'm like, that person, they've made it, but they're going to do something awful. They're going to hurt somebody because of the way they act, the way they are. I don't think Jake and Logan Paul should be famous. They haven't done anything grooming-wise with their fans, but they're a case of those, a case of that. I don't think the way this person acts, the way this person behaves, they should be famous. That is my opinion, and I'm willing to admit maybe it's a wrong opinion even, but Austin Jones is someone who should not have been famous. Would Austin Jones have done what he did if he wasn't famous? Maybe. And I can't, I can't judge him, regarding a fictional version of him that does not exist. I am talking about the Austin Jones that became famous. The Austin Jones who admittedly was a talented singer. The Austin Jones who did something so disturbing, so disgusting, that he's now sitting in jail for. That he will be sitting in jail for 10 years in a federal prison for. That he will be 36 the moment he gets out. I can judge him for that, and I will judge him for that, because it is horribly disgusting. This is a man who had it all. A handsome man. I will say that. A handsome man. He's going to be treated so poorly in prison. By that I mean he is going to be the bottom bunk. But a handsome, seemingly talented man who pissed his life away for children. And the children gave it to him because they wanted to impress someone they were a fan of. That fucks with me. That fucks with me hard. Because it is his fault. The girls were trying to impress someone they thought were, someone was actually interested in him, and he took his power and he used and abused it. And that is disgusting to me. I can't believe that people want to do that. I genuinely cannot believe that, because when you're that famous, because Austin Jones had 550,000 subscribers, it'll be on screen here. When this shit went down, he had a lot of subscribers at that time, and he had clout. He was talented. Why go after children? Why? There's nothing that a child can give you that would make it worth it. Now, I'm of the opinion I like bigger boned women. I will admit that. I like my girls a little thicker. I cannot imagine being attracted to a child. I can't. That is out of my wheelhouse. And for a fact that Austin Jones, this man who, look at him, he's relatively attractive. I'd be lying if I said he wasn't. He could have gotten any woman he wanted. Why children? And I think, at least my imagination of it is, he had the control. And he liked the control. Now, I think as a YouTuber or as any kind of celebrity, any form of celebrity, even if it's like, oh hey, a couple people look up to you because you're really good at a job, or you've got 20 million subscribers, you have a responsibility to be professional, to be generous, and to be kind. That's my opinion. I'm willing to admit not everybody thinks that way, but within those terms, you should be setting a layer, a boundary, as it were, to your life. Obviously, there is stuff I'm going to put on YouTube, and there's stuff I'm going to put in my public life. And honestly, a smart way to do things is to have a barrier, an intersection between your life and your career. Otherwise, it bleeds in together. That's why I can never be a daily vlogger. Those people blur the lines too much in my mind. That's me. But you have a responsibility for your audience, or your job, or your career, to keep your personal life out of it. And that includes, honestly, in my mind, relationships with fans that lead anywhere near romance. You can have a relationship with your fan base. That's important. You know, you should talk with your fans. You should speak with them. You should let them know where you guys stand. That makes sense. But using your fan base for sexual gratification is disgusting. Adult or not, if you want to start a normal, loving relationship with a fan, by all means. That, you know, as long as consenting adults are doing consenting things, it can be fine. And I admit, I have no room to talk. My sub numbers are nowhere near a ton of YouTubers. But I'm not going to use this as my dating platform. I'm not going to use this to be like, hey, Sid Nudes, LMAO, winky face. I'm not going to do that. That's disgusting. It's abusing a form of power, I think. Now, I think as the internet grows larger and larger every single day, Austin Jones will not be the only one. He's not the only one, you know, Mike Lombardo I mentioned, and there's others. But I think, especially now, parents should be taking care of their children more and more on the internet. And it used to be, parents were terrified to stick your children on the internet. And now you see 2-year-olds walking into like McDonald's and Walmarts with a cell phone, watching videos on YouTube. And in reality, it's hard to protect your children online. It's hard to protect anybody online nowadays. We put so much public information, our addresses, everything, into accounts. Google accounts, even. I'm guilty of doing this myself. But we put so much information into...
Here are some results from the web.
Okay. Google just listened to me, and I'm just gonna... We put so much information into our accounts nowadays, and we don't stop to think about it, how someone can use that and abuse that. And it's not even just, you know, what we search online. It's how we talk with each other. A lot of us use our real name, our real face. I use it on stuff like Facebook for, you know, friends and family. But I feel especially now, with how everything is changing, everything is growing, and we have the next generation already getting phones at like 4 and 5, we should be worried about this. We should be worried about the future problem and how to quell it regarding our children. And we should be looking at how to, I don't know if it's the word safeguard, but safeguard our children from, I don't know I'm getting out of this one, especially with the next generation growing up with cell phones even earlier than, you know, Generation Z and millennials did. We need to find a way to explain to our children that the person you see on the screen isn't always a person that you'll talk to. And that both should be expected, but also feared. Will the next Austin Jones be somebody big? Maybe. Will it be somebody small? Maybe. And that's horrifying to me. That is horrifying that a man who seemed like he had it all takes children who don't know any better and uses them for his own gain. I don't like that. It's like the Daddy of Five stuff. In a different way, it's like the Daddy of Five stuff. It's still child abuse to me. And he abused children in a way that is fucked up. That is horrifyingly fucked up. And, you know, he deserves whatever comes to him in prison. Whatever comes to him in prison. He deserves every single bit of it. And I'm just gonna say this. According to people I know, because I've got a lot of family members who've been in and out of jail, people who abuse children, they don't get off easy. And he'd really better hope he's isolated. Even in a low-security federal prison, they don't like the kind of people that abuse children. So, alright, my apologies for this dour and kind of depressing video that I wanted to knock out kind of quick. I wanted to, I want to talk about more topics than just Onision. There will be more Onision videos. In fact, depending on when you see this, there either is or was a live stream where I drunkenly watch Onision's latest Patreon reward and new Patreon that he made for some ungodly reason. You can see it at the end screen here. There's a link to it if it's finished. If it's not finished, not a link to it, just check the channel. It'll be up on July 4th because, hey, happy Freedom Day. This video is going to be the first time I upload something and then like record something and then upload it the night after. Minimal screw-ups also, which is nice. The channel growth has been insane. I'm so thankful for everybody for subscribing, for liking the videos, commenting, viewing it. Again, like I said the last few videos, this has been more like growth I've had in 2 weeks than I've had in 2 fucking years. So I thank you. I hope I can keep this up and keep making content you guys like and watch. We're gonna go in on some more topics like this. This one was a lot more serious, a lot more dour, really depressing, but we're gonna try to make something interesting for everybody here. So, the next video, obviously, will be Onision 1, and then, I think we might do something gaming related next. So, hey, if you liked this, hit like, click subscribe, click that little bell thing, click it twice, because it'll do the all notifications, and I should be getting creator posts anytime now, YouTube. If you see an ad on this, that means I actually got advertising, finally. And just enjoy yourself, leave a comment down below. I'm trying to remember everything, so I leave this on a good note. Try to cheer everybody up before, like, after the whole dour, depressing shit. So, this was sort of a different type of episode in the series. Because this series is kind of something I at first didn't think of a name of until I was uploading it. And the second one I was like, okay, nobody really brings this one up anymore. And now the third one is, people bring it up, but I still want to talk about it. I want to put it within the series. Yeah, this series. And it fits with the last episode. It's kind of a running theme on certain things. I called Greg a groomer in the last video. Next one's a video about groomers. Alright, have a good night, everybody. Take it easy.